Hi, it's Dorothy Fitzer again, founder of the Embodied Soul Center, and welcome back to another practice tip mini lesson. So today I'd like to focus on the spine, and I'd like to continue with this concept we started last week regarding a balance between stability and flexibility. And it's really important to create a sense of safety and comfort, this felt sense that my body can hold me up with minimal effort. And because of this minimal effort, I have this freedom of range of motion that I can act on my own best behalf in whatever direction I need to. And that's not just physical, it will create a psychologically felt sense of that. And it just makes life feel better, I'll tell you that. So today we're going to do a really simple lesson that you can do at your computer at any time. That's one of the main things these lessons are for, is convenience. And dealing with the reality of most of our lifestyles are in front of the computer a lot. So this is a good thing to do, to take a break every hour or two to show your spine some love and wake it up, because it can tend to get really shut down and bound up from doing this all day. So the first thing I'd like you to do is imagine you could swallow through the crown of your head a merry-go-round horse pole. And so it's going to go right down through this central channel in you and come out at the base of your pelvis. So it's going to keep your torso very still. And then you're just going to tilt that pole forward and back. And the reason I'm having you do that is because most people, between first teaching dance and then Tai Chi and Qigong and Feldenkrais for so many years, most people I find when they bend over or go to stretch or something, they tend to actually contract back here, and then the bend comes from the lower spine. And doing that over and over again puts so much strain on whatever that vertebral juncture is, your default mode, when actually the bend needs to happen actually from the hip. And most people think they're bending from the hip, and they're not. So we've got this merry-go-round horse pole reminding us, don't bend here, at least not right now, and see, can I bend here? And you can put your hands in the crease of your, and if you had a perfect panty line, you put the hands right there, and see, make sure you're bending at that point and keeping the rest of you very quiet. So then you know, okay, that really is indeed my hip socket. And if this is all you do every day, that can go a long way. Again, because so many people get very tight in the hips, and then the lower back takes over. And you can do this for a minute or two, making sure you're not inhibiting the breath. Just let the breath move naturally. And then the next thing you can do is put one hand on your head, and that hand is going to keep your head in the same place. And your eyes are going to stay on the horizon. And you're going to begin rolling the pelvis back and forth. Same basic action. But now, in order to keep the head where it is, the spine has to adjust. Has to make all these micro adjustments to allow yourself to keep it level and in approximately the same space. And you can imagine you're sitting on a clock face. Clock's like this, and 12 o'clock's that way, and 6 o'clock's that way. And you roll the pubic bone. Oh, I'm going to roll the pubic bone towards 12. I'm going to roll onto my tailbone towards 6. And this is a nice, easy way to differentiate the spine. And it's very functional, because we do this all the time, because, as the animals we are, as we're moving, a lot of times there's things we want to keep in our sight line for whatever reason, for safety issues, for communicating with others. So as we're staying engaged with the environment, the rest of our body is wanting to do all this other stuff. So there's a point to that. Now, the third level of what we're going to do is we're going to actually go into a C curve. Okay? So as you're rolling backwards to 6 o'clock onto your tailbone, you let the head gently drop downward. And as you roll towards 12 o'clock, you gently let the head and eyes gaze towards the sky. And if you can, let the tracking of the eyes be pretty consistent. Because again, there'll be a tendency to zone out, but if you're really following your gaze, and do a lot to help that dissociative tendency that most of us have. And from a Qigong perspective, there's tons of different things I could ask you to keep in mind right here, but we're going to keep it simple since this is a short lesson. I just want you to pay attention to two main things. Well, I just said the eyes, but two more things. Are the head and the pelvis dancing together? One may be leading, but the other's following in an elegant timing. Because what can happen is if we have tension in different places, one will move and then the other will kind of clunk into place. But can you have a sense that what does the body in between these two dancers need to do so that you have a sense of coordination and timing where they're working together? And you're also looking for, is the whole spine moving? It doesn't have to be a perfect C, but what can happen is one place might be really bound up, and so I might hold my thoracic vertebra really still, and then the lower spine might work a lot. And what can happen is a lot of times our physical problems will manifest in what could be the stronger link, meaning the one with better mobility, because as one place is being braced really hard, the place that's more gifted in the flexibility department may start overworking and thus wear itself out. So wherever you're moving too much, hold it back a little bit and let the weaker link catch up. Okay, so my lower back's a lot lower, so I'm going to calm that down and see if, can I get this part of my thoracic vertebra to step it up a little bit. And you can put your finger in different places. Can I feel this? Can I get that moving? We're not trying to do anything especially well. We're just trying to wake it up and see if everything's kind of moving and grooving together. Okay? Do that a few times a day. Just take a few minutes out every so often as a little mini break, and you'll be doing a big favor for your spine. Until next time, my very best of wishes to you. Take care. Bye-bye.